direction! Hello everypony, I'm MasterCode, your ace analyst, and today we're taking a look at issue number 91 of the main IDW series, or Season 10, Episode 3. We pick up shortly after the last issue with our heroes traversing a vast desert in search of a hidden temple where the Grootsland supposedly lives, and stop its attacks on the Farasian Coast once and for all. First though, we jump once again into the past, reliving a failed LARPing session taking place in the desert between Sakura and her friends. Though it's mostly there to set up the grim premonition of the group's actual travel in the future, it was still a fun and cute sequence, watching them bicker with each other over what to do, and eventually our DM, Sakura, just says screw it and declares they all succumb to heat stroke.
Everyone died. The end.
This scene also addresses a minor problem I had with the earlier issues, that being a lack of the kids bonding during their early years. And simple playtime just like this adds to their friendship, making it more meaningful when they are all happy together, all the while setting up the inevitable breakup, making it much more hurtful and tragic for them. In the previous two issues, we explored more of the tension between Sakura and her friends, with both sides still expressing legitimate grievances from the pain of the breakup, and neither side willing to forgive each other immediately, flinging their raw emotions at each other, which made the dispute between them feel more real. At the start of this comic, the tension between Sakura and Mariti does still exist. Both aren't ready to forgive yet, but they do slowly begin to warm up to one another, and it feels organic, each struggling with their emotions, and over the course of the adventure, these little inklings of bonding slowly rebuild their friendship. As for the rest of Sakura's old gang, this is also the first issue they get much more exposure. We've mostly learned about their names, race, and abilities in the previous comics. Now they're powwowing around and becoming friends with every pony in AJ's friendship team, all the while learning more about their personalities. Rose, the Abata, is the optimistic one, but is also resourceful, knowing how and when to use the land's natural properties to the group's advantage, or even advising the group on how to use their own resources. Crystal, the Kelpie, is the tough loner of the group, who strikes up a friendship easily with our other tough loner, Tempest. She is, however, fiercely loyal when her friends are in danger, to the point of sacrificing her very survival, and she's also pretty inventive with her water powers as well. Dust Devil, the other Abata, is the calm and collected one, who prefers the diplomatic approach in any situation, but can be one-track minded, not considering the consequences of his actions. Finally, the other Kelpie, Brooke, is the happy-go-lucky one of the bunch, easily excited, on board for any adventure, and exudes positivity, but comes down to earth when a friend's life is in danger and ready to sacrifice all. Now, even though I've mostly discussed the character development in this comic, one of the strong suits of the story is the comedy. There are just so many great hilarious moments, it's hard to count them all, like the characters reacting to strange things like Rose's ability to talk to plants, or Raukus' digging experience leading to his brilliant deduction of this sandy canyon being a large hole.
Well, it's about as brilliant as your declarations.
What are you talking about?
Already forgetting our recent expedition? Behold, Mr. Code, a true beauty of nature.
Oh my god, a giant rock!
Yes, Mr. Code, a giant rock.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's a rock, and it's giant. A giant rock.
And behold, this recently discovered beauty, the great floating rock of Rockopolis.
Oh my god, another giant rock. Wait, what keeps it floating?
Me. Truly inspiring.
Real funny. But hey, the floating disco ball I got for you was a nice souvenir from the trip.
What floating disco? Oh, touché.
He'll be fine. Anyway, among the desert obstacles, the group comes across a giant rock.
Oh my god, a giant rock!
No, not that kind of rock.
If you smell...
No, not that rock either. It's a giant avian rock which is blocking their path across a bridge. The scene is a cool display of Dust Devil and Crystal's abilities, helping the giant bird achieve flight. However, unless the rock comes back in another issue, it really doesn't lead to anything. At first I thought that Crystal using her water powers to save Dust and her eventual dehydration was going to play some part where maybe they had to leave her behind in the safety of a cave or something. But no, by the end of the comic, she's back to normal. I would have had just some more bonding scenes, like Sakura rebuilding her relationship with the rest of her old friends, or her old friends bonding more with Team AJ. But still, it was a fun little sequence. Now we come to the warning provided by Tempest on the cover, where the group is succumbing to the desert heat. And to appease the plants to give them their precious water, the desert plants request a song! eccentric plants. Now, songs in comics always leave much to be desired because it's an inaudible medium, but the song sequence does still serve a purpose. The lyrics themselves, while not the greatest the show has produced, is a fun and silly song that encompasses the conflict between Sakura and all her friends, laying out all the woes and emotions, singing a good lesson about telling friends when you're in distress or sad, so said friends can help and support you. And I will say it was a much more creative way of arriving to the final resolution between the group rather than just them apologizing with a regular conversation. The song is also accentuated by the fantastic artwork done by the team of Breckle and Price, as we witness an over-the-top concert while still in the middle of a desert. And as far as the rest of the comics art goes, it still looks amazing. I love the depiction of the desert landscapes, as the color palettes aren't just a series of browns, but there's greens from the cacti and fauna, bluish mountains, and green and blue skies, making the panels much more appealing. The giant rock is literally textured like a rock, which looks so cool, and the visual effects like Dust Devil speeding looks amazing. And of course, you have the signature Andy Price over-the-top facial expressions, and these range from wild and wacky to kinda disturbing and creepy. I mean, look at Crystal, she looks like a dried up prune. And finally, we end our story with the gang finding the Groot's land and the hidden temple, and inside lies, much to the shock of all, a tree of harmony.
Say what?
Yeah, didn't see that one coming. Does this mean that there are other trees of harmony all over the world? And are all the elements different? We'll find out in future issues, but as for this comic, once again, the IDW team delivers another great story. Season 10 has been a highly entertaining ride with interesting conflicts, new colorful characters and worlds, and some great artwork. And I look forward to the continuation of this awesome season. Well, that's it for today, guys. Until next time, MC!